Chapter 31, Captured Alive. Level 25 Goblin Leader. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Roar. Encountering a team of human players, the Goblin warrior did not hesitate at all. After a long roar to the sky, he clenched the sharp giant battle axe in his hand and rushed towards the human players. 5 Goblin warriors simultaneously used the charge skill. Boom! Even at a long distance, Yun Chen's mobile phone screen trembled. 5 level 17 Goblin warriors charged together, and the scene was quite shocking. Why don't you run? Yun Chen was stunned when he saw that the 5 players did not intend to dodge the charge of the Goblin warrior. Isn't this just courting death? If it was normal, these 5 players could rely on their rare equipment to hold on, but now it is the background of the winter snow disaster. The attributes of all monsters have been strengthened, and all members of that player team are level 18, only 1 level higher than the Goblin warrior. Even if they are wearing good equipment, they are still not good enough, not to mention that this team only has 1 frontline warrior. How could they possibly stop the brave charge of these 5 Goblin warriors? Well, the facts are just as Yun Chen expected. When the frontline warrior in that player team stood confidently at the front and activated a C-level, Guardian Shield, skill, but the next second. The warrior screamed and was knocked out by the Goblin warrior. You have been killed by the Goblin warrior. Fuck, looking at the scarlet font appearing on the mobile phone screen and the dark screen, the warrior player couldn't help but curse. He quickly turned on the team microphone to remind his teammates, is it too late? It's too late. The characters controlled by the other swordsman and archer players also screamed at the same time, because their heads were pierced by the Goblin archer's arrow, and the critical damage bonus was triggered. They were killed instantly. The swordsman and the archer were both stunned. What happened? Why is this goblin so powerful? In other games, shouldn't goblins be cute new monsters for players to slaughter in the early stage? How come they are so powerful in this game? And they also know how to cooperate tactically. The rare equipment on them didn't have time to play a role at all. Xiaoying. Xiao Dai. Run, that they could only use the team microphone to remind the last 2 girls to run away quickly. Can't escape. The mage player called Xiaoying answered in a flat voice. From the sound, she is not very old, probably a high school student, but from the tone, she is like a cold girl. Why? Asked the swordsman player. Because I was caught alive by them with ropes tied up. What about Xiao Dai? Woo, brother, I was also caught alive. Now they are dragging Xiaoying and me to the deepest part of the canyon, which seems to be their lair. The priest player called Xiao Dai cried. Afan, now we should be concerned about whether our equipment will be picked up. It shouldn't be. Only our team is exploring this map. Monsters will eat our players' bodies, but they won't pick up equipment. If no one collects for more than 10 minutes, the equipment will be returned. The swordsman player named Afan answered. That's okay. The warrior player and the archer player breathed a sigh of relief. If the equipment will not be lost, then there is no problem. Then Xiao Dai, Xiaoying, you 2 can be forced to log off. After all, the next scene is disgusting. Afan reminded, the habits of the monster race goblin are known to all players who have played the game. They kill human males when they see them, and capture and abuse human females when they see them, and use them as breeding tools. Because the goblin race has no females, only males, if they want to reproduce, they must rely on female primates such as humans, orcs, vampires, etc. Of course. This is the game setting for this monster race. The game shelter for all is too real. If players are captured alive by those intelligent monsters, their fate will be very miserable. The scenes are either very bloody or very disgusting. In short, it is not suitable for children. Now, if nothing unexpected happens, the perspective of Xiaoying and Xiaodia's mobile phone screens is that they are tied with ropes by goblin warriors, dragged away like animals. When they reach their lair, the 2 female characters will be abused by the leader of the goblin clan. The scene is certainly not suitable for girls to watch. I want to try again to see if I can escape. It's a rare holiday today, and I don't want to use up my life so soon. Xiaoying replied in a cold voice. Me too. Xiao Dai also answered. Okay, then let's see if you can find a chance to escape from these monsters. Afin nodded. Now the three of them also switched to the perspectives of Xiaoying and Xiao Dai. Although they died and returned to the shelter, they could choose to watch the perspective of the surviving teammates. Soon, Xiaoying and Xiao Dai were dragged all the way to the goblin's lair. It was a dark, damp place crawling with disgusting black bugs. Even with the screen on, everyone couldn't help but frown, not daring to think that if this kind of environment really came into reality, it would be filled with a very strong stench. When they reached the depths of the cave, what came into view was a goblin that was only 1.6 meters tall and had an ugly and ferocious appearance, sitting on the skeleton throne. Is this the goblin leader? It looks so weak. The warrior player named Away couldn't help but say. Don't underestimate this goblin leader. Although it looks ordinary, its level is 25. Afin said in a deep voice. His expression became solemn. At this moment, he, the captain of the team, realized how arrogant and careless he was before. The final boss of this map is actually as high as level 25. This is not something that their level 18 team can attack at all. Perhaps only the top pioneering team like Kanglan Jiwei is qualified to come here to compete with this Goblin King. These Goblin Priests, Goblin Gunners, Goblin Assassins around, are all level 20 to 22. Damn! Don't watch, Xiaoying, Xiao Dai, you two can't escape. Hurry up and log off, otherwise the next scene is disgusting. The archer player named Asian also reminded. Xiaoying and Xiao Dai are best friends, playing together at home at the moment. Hearing this, they looked at each other, nodded slightly, and planned to give up the idea of escaping and prepare to log off to avoid seeing disgusting scenes that are not suitable for children. Although this is just a game, it is also disgusting to see the character you play being humiliated by monsters. But at this moment, boom! An explosion suddenly sounded in the cave. Chapter 32 Killing 2 people in a row. Making enemies. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Goblin King, who was planning to happily humiliate the two human women, was forcibly interrupted by the explosion. Roar! That it no longer looked at the human woman who was like an animal, and turned around and let out an angry roar. At the same time, this is also a warning signal to all the goblins under his command. An enemy has invaded the nest. This is the highest warning signal for all goblin monsters. For a moment, wow! All the goblin monsters are out. He began to search frantically in this intricate cave, trying to find the enemy who invaded his lair. Even the Goblin King picked up a spear that exuded terrifying magic waves and joined the search. Boom! At this time, there seemed to be another explosion outside the cave. Outside! Goblin! The Goblin King roared angrily and rushed out with his subordinates. Suddenly, only Xiaoying and Xiao Dai were left in the cave. Xiaoying and Xiao Dai, who were about to be forced to log off, were also stunned. These goblins, don't care about them. But he couldn't break free either. They had no tools in their backpacks to untie the ropes. Just when they were hesitating, from the perspective of the mobile phone screen, a very handsome young man's face appeared. The two girls were startled for a moment, then were surprised. Human players. They are both saved. Xiao Dai turned on the free mic directly and said in a delicate voice, "Brother, help me quickly." But the word, people, has not been finished yet. Poof. The female character controlled by Xiao Dai was directly penetrated through the head by this strange player with a claw weapon. You have been killed by player Yun Chen. Would you like to return to the shelter? At this time, not only Xiao Dai, but all the members of the team stayed still. They didn't expect that this fellow player, instead of trying to save Xiao Dai, actually hit Xiao Dai in the head with one claw. Yun Chen. Xiaoying calmed down. She turned on the free microphone directly and said, "You are the first player in the whole server to upgrade the shelter to level 5, right?" That's right. It was Yun Chen who caused the explosion, attracted the goblins to rush out, and then took the opportunity to get in and kill Xiao Dai. Facing Xiaoying's questions, Yun Chen was as cold as ice and remained silent throughout the whole process. With no intention of answering the other party's questions, he came to Xiaoying and raised the crystal black poison claw. Xiaoying said coldly at this time, "Yun Chen, right? Okay. I will remember you. I, Lu Menjing, will definitely avenge this. Yunchen twitched the corners of his mouth, not bothering to talk nonsense to the other party, and stabbed him directly with his claws. Poof. You have been killed by player Yunchen. Would you like to return to the shelter? Quiet. There was a deathly silence in the queue. Xiao Dai cautiously glanced at her best friend beside her, then he saw the aloof girl who had always been calm and gentle, but now her pretty face was as cold as ice. She had never seen her best friend so angry. Lu Fan. At this moment, Lu Menjing spoke. You are here, what are your orders from my aunt? The player whose ID was Afan responded quickly. He knew that the princess of the Li family was completely angry. Well. Yunchen. Your game is awesome. But how could you provoke Lu Menjing? Although this aunt is only a senior in high school, she is not an ordinary female high school student. Her father is the actual controller of a large group in the Dragon Kingdom, with a net worth of trillions. She also has two sisters with very good backgrounds, my sister Lu Chaoga, cousin Shenling Shuang. These two are also playing the game National Shelter, and they are also the captain and deputy team of the top land reclamation team, Kanglin Jiwei. Help me go to the Dark Explorers forum and post a message. Just say that I, Lu Menjing, am offering a reward. Whoever kills Yunchen once in the game can get 1 million in cash from me. If you can capture him alive, I will receive 5 million in cash directly. Lu Menjing said coldly. Hearing this, the other members did not dare to say anything. Lu Fan swallowed his saliva and said softly, Auntie, I suddenly remembered something and wanted to remind you. Explain. Your sister Lu Chaoga also offered a reward for the Yunchen you want to offer a reward for. Lu Menjing raised her eyebrows. It seemed like it was true. I think you can call your sister and ask. Lu Fan said. Snort. Lu Menjing snorted coldly, cut out the game window, and dialed a phone number. That was Lu Chaoga's private number. Hello. Xiaoying, why do you have time to call your sister? A mature, gentle voice came from the other end of the phone. Sister Chaoga, I want to ask, do you also have a grudge against a guy named Yunchen? Lu Menjing asked. As soon as these words fell, there was a noticeable lag on the other end of the phone. Then Lu Chaoga's gentle voice sounded. Well, there was a feud, and I even offered a reward to him. What's wrong? Did you provoke him too? I didn't provoke him, he provoked me. Lu Menjing's cold and pretty face rarely showed a hint of anger. Perhaps in front of this close sister, this aloof girl would have such rich expression changes. Immediately she told everything that had just happened. Sister Chao Gu, do you think this is irritating? That guy is not a good person. Kill the players when they come up. Lu Menjing was not so angry even when she was killed by a monster. I originally thought this guy was here to save me, but I didn't expect that he was here to kill me. The key is, his equipment, materials, and medicines were all collected and taken away by the other party. Next time you meet him in the wild, don't alert him first. Let me know and I will teleport directly to you through my friends. I'll fight him. Lu Chaoga said calmly. There is strong confidence in the gentle and mature voice. It feels so good to have my sister covering me. Lu Menjing was not too angry at all. Then he added, by the way, Sister Chaoga, can I find someone to beat him up? The second young lady of the Lu family, it is not difficult to check a person's information. Don't do anything stupid. Lu Chaoga immediately denied it and said, if you suffer a loss in the game, you can just regain your position in the game. Oh. Lu Menjing nodded obediently. Hurry up and upgrade now, you know. Take this opportunity to raise the level to level 30. After reaching level 30, there will be big changes. Lu Chaoga warned his sister meaningfully. Good. Lu Menjing is still well behaved. Suffer it. Auntie, all your things have been collected, so the three of us are probably gone too. At this time, Lu Fan also said it was over. No matter what, next time I see this guy Yunchen, I must kill him. The girl on the side whose real name is Lu Dai also clenched her fists and said angrily. I think so too. But Afan said that Xiaoying's sister Lu Chaoga has offered a reward. I feel that this kind of person is not someone we can offend. Ah Wei sighed helplessly. Just wait for my sister to come then. Lu Menjing said calmly, having a strong and beautiful sister supports you with confidence. Chapter 33 7-star Skyfire Suit. Soul-breaking bomb. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Then continue to fight in this Goblin Canyon tomorrow. The strength of the monsters here is so high, the rewards must be rich. Lu Fan asked. Beat. I'll call my sister's team to come over and help tomorrow. Lu Menjing nodded. Now that Yunqian is also exploring this map, will he get there first? Ah Wei asked. He alone cannot kill the Goblin King. And there are hundreds of elite Goblin guards above level 20 around the Goblin King. Unless this Yunqian is a level 30 player, there is only a dead end against the Goblin King. Lu Menjing said lightly. Let's call it a night, let's talk about it tomorrow. Collection successful. You have obtained the 7-star Skyfire Staff. You have obtained the 7-star Heavenly Fire Robe. You have obtained the 7-star Skyfire Necklace. You have obtained the Xianling Crystal. On the other side, Yunqian finished collecting the things of the two female players. There was also a look of satisfaction on his face. It's really not an ordinary team. The clothes he wears are all rare equipment above level 10, plus some good materials and potions. There was no hesitation, he directly put on the 7-star Skyfire 3-piece suit. This 7-star Skyfire suit was collected from the player whose ID is Xiaoying. This set of equipment is very good, level 15 rare equipment, armor, 7-star Heavenly Fire Robe. Grade, rare. Wearing requirements, level 15 or above, mage profession. After equipped, wisdom plus 500, physical defense, magic defense plus 200, magic damage plus 50%, magic skill CD, 20%, magic critical hit rate plus 30%. Special effect, the wearer will gain 20% magic penetration when casting any magic skills. Armor, 7-star Skyfire Staff. Grade, rare. Wearing requirements, level 15 or above, mage profession. After equipped, wisdom plus 650, magic damage plus 60%, magic skill CD, 20%, magic critical hit rate plus 30%. Special effect, after the skill hits, the enemy will enter a burning state and lose 5% of its maximum health every second for 5 seconds. Armor, 7-star Skyfire Necklace. Grade, rare. Wearing requirements, level 15 or above, mage profession. After equipped, wisdom plus 300, maximum health plus 30%. Special effect, gain a magic shield every 10 seconds. The threshold of this magic shield is 10% of your maximum health. Effect of the 7-star Skyfire set, when a skill attack hits an enemy, all of its own speeds will be increased by 5%, which can be superimposed up to 10 times, it will last until the end of the combat state. When Yunqian took off the Slayer's robe and ordinary staff, put on this set of rare level 15 mage equipment, and felt that his intelligence attribute skyrocketed, he felt that the team just now was a bunch of losers. With such good equipment, they couldn't even defeat that Goblin team. If you say you can't defeat the Goblin King, that's fair to say, but you can't even defeat the 5 Goblin warriors, 3 Goblin archers, and 2 Goblin sacrifice. The gaming skills of this team are really good. Yunqian couldn't bear to look directly at it. Originally, I was thinking of coming back here tomorrow when I'm fully prepared. Now with the resources provided by these unlucky guys, I feel like I can try to kill these Goblin groups. Yunqian's eyes became firm. He is only level 16 now, Goblin King is level 25, normally, it would be difficult to kill him beyond the level, not to mention that there are elite guards around the Goblin King, but I have good resources in hand, so I can give it a try. While the Goblin King and the elite guards are still patrolling outside the cave, seize the opportunity. Without hesitation, he took out some materials directly from his backpack, powerful gunpowder, plus, cartilage vanilla, plus, ecstasy flower, plus, glass bottle. Synthesis successful. You have obtained the Ecstasy Bone Smoke Bomb. Item: Ecstasy Bone Smoke Bomb. Explanation: after being thrown, it will automatically explode upon contact, bursting out a thick mist. Creatures below level 30 will inhale the smoke, and their bones will become soft instantly. At the same time, they will have severe hallucinations and lose their combat effectiveness. Glass bottles and powerful gunpowder are small materials that Yun Chen obtained from collecting junk items along the way. As for the cartilage herbs and ecstasy flowers, they were looted from the unlucky team just now, then use almighty synthesis to create this thing. One bomb is not safe enough, at least two more. Yun Chen's caution was engraved in his bones. After making 3 ecstasy bone smoke bombs, Yun Chen directly found an extremely hidden corner and waited patiently and quietly. He was like an experienced hunter. Even if he was in the enemy camp, he didn't panic or tremble at all. 10 minutes later, the Goblin King also returned to the cave with his elite guards. It can be seen that this Goblin King is very smart and very greedy for life and afraid of death. No matter where he went, he always brought his elite guards with him, and never walked alone. But when the Goblin King was about to enjoy the 2 beauties he had captured today, he was shocked to find that they had become a corpse. The enemy was still in the cave. The Goblin King, who realized this, was about to scream to alert the guards, but the next second, boom! 3 glass bottle-like objects smashed in the middle of them, causing an explosion. The billowing smoke spread all at once. The goblins panicked. Calm down. Calm down. Goblin language, that the Goblin King saw that his elite guards were in disarray, and he roared. After hearing the king's order, these elite guards finally calmed down, but, plop. One of the elite guards collapsed to the ground. Then, the second, third, and fourth, in less than 3 seconds, all the Goblin elite guards fell to the ground with a crash. There's something wrong with the smoke, that the Goblin King said to himself. Not good, but, it's too late. Just now, in order to calm his subordinates, he roared a few times, so he also breathed several mouthfuls of smoke. Plop. The Goblin King also fell to the ground. The vision in front of him began to blur. This is going to be a hallucination. The Goblin King gritted his teeth and squeezed out the last bit of clarity. He opened his mouth and roared to warn the goblins outside the cave, but the next moment, puff. A sharp claw pierced its neck so hard. And it also pierced its vocal cords. It couldn't make any sound. At this time, the Goblin King turned his head hard, and in the last 2 seconds of sight, he saw a handsome man's face. Human, damn human. Chapter 34 Incredibly Generous Rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Puff. 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 Yun Chen controlled the character in the game expressionlessly, poking the heads of all the goblin monsters. The Goblin King is a level 25 monster after all, with high health and defense values. Other goblins can be killed with 3 pokes. This Goblin King was killed after 20 pokes. It is enough to see how thick the health of this boss is. Even if a level 25 player comes here, it is very difficult to kill this Goblin King without good equipment and props. Yun Chen was lucky and synthesized a soul-stirring smoke bomb, in order to be on the safe side, fearing that the Goblin King's abnormal state resistance was too high and immune to this thing. Yun Chen threw 3 at once. At the same time, he was holding the 7-star Skyfire staff, staring at the corner. Once he found that the Goblin King was not stunned, he would directly hit it with a fully activated fireball spell on its head. He did not believe that the other party would not die. Fortunately, the power of this item is still very strong. Even the Goblin King could not escape. You have killed the Goblin Priest and gained 3,000 experience points. You have killed the Goblin Assassin and gained 4,000 experience points. You have killed the Goblin Centurion, triggered an experience crit, and gained 70,000 experience points. It must be said that the experience gained by killing monsters above the level is high. Too high. Yun Chen is now level 16, and the goblin monsters in these caves are the Goblin King's trusted guards, all of whom are above level 20. Killing one can gain at least a few thousand experience points. If the experience crit is triggered, it will triple or quadruple, and at least tens of thousands of experience points can be gained. The experience value of killing a Goblin Centurion is 20,000 points. It has more than tripled to 70,000 points. Yun Chen's level is now rising. Just by killing the Goblin elite in this cave, the level has soared from level 16 to level 20. But it's not over yet. When Yunchen ended the life of the Goblin King, the experience bar suddenly jumped. You have killed the Goblin King, triggered the experience crit, and gained 10 times the kill experience value. Congratulations! You have gained 1 million experience points. Your level has been raised to level 26. When Yunchen saw this scene, his eyes lit up and he became surprised. I have to say, my luck is really good. On the most critical boss kill, the tenfold experience crit was triggered. Do you want to collect? And collect. I have to say that exploring the new map of Goblin Canyon is a great opportunity for Yunchen. Not only did it speed up the level upgrade, but it also got extremely rich collection resources. Collection success. You got Goblin Skull times 50, Cursed Bone Dagger times 10, Witchwood Scepter times 10, Smelted Iron Armor times 10, Life Necklace times 10. All of the above were obtained by collecting Goblin Elite monsters, Cursed Bone Dagger, Witchwood Scepter, Smelted Iron Armor, Life Necklace, etc., are all the equipment originally worn by elite monsters, and are advanced equipment above level 20. The attributes are very good and can be sold. Most players are eager for it. Although advanced equipment is not as good as rare equipment, it is also very precious in the early stage of this game, and can be used for transition, of course. In addition, they also drop some small medicinal materials and small props, such as bone refining grass, drunk light grass, and so on. Next is the collection of boss. Yunchen exhaled lightly, his eyes full of expectations. Ding. Collection success. You have obtained 1 blood heart of the Goblin King, 1 gold ring of the Goblin King, 3 intermediate shelter cores, 2000 intermediate obsidian, 10 primary obsidian production diagrams, 1 bloodthirsty sword of the Goblin King, 5 life-sustaining pills, 1 endless life gem, 1 intermediate supernatural rune, swordsman. When Yunchen saw the collection information displayed on the screen of his mobile phone, he slowly exhaled a breath, and a smile appeared on his face. What a wonderful start. The blood heart of the Goblin King can be ground into powder in the smelting room, and the amount can at least make 100 bottles of high-level blood recovery medicine. Let's look at the equipment. Armor, gold ring of the Goblin King. Grade, rare. Wearing requirements, above level 25, no occupation requirements. After equipping, strength, wisdom plus 300, all skill levels plus 1, maximum health plus 40%. Special effect, after attacking an enemy, it can reduce the enemy's armor and magic resistance by 1%, which can be stacked up to 10 times. A very strong ring. Especially the entry of all skill levels plus 1. Without any hesitation, Yunchen put it on directly. Currently, weapons, armor, belts, boots, wrist guards, necklaces, and rings are all available. The only thing missing is leggings and headgear. Headgear is in urgent need of replenishment. Whether Yunchen was fighting monsters or players before, he basically chopped at the opponent's head and neck, because the damage to the head and neck is higher and more fatal than other parts. Therefore, the importance of headgear is also highlighted. Yunchen must make up for it when there is a chance. Look at the long sword again. Armor, Goblin King's bloodthirsty long sword. Grade, rare. Wearing requirements, level 25 and above, swordsman profession. After equipping, strength plus 1000, physical damage plus 80%, physical skill CD, 20%, physical critical rate plus 50%. Special effect, when your attack hits the enemy, 30% of the damage will be converted into healing value to heal yourself. Wow! The early stage over rare equipment that the swordsman profession dreams of. This long sword may not be as offensive as other rare weapons of the same level, but its powerful endurance makes it stand out directly. You know, in the early stage of the game, blood medicine is very precious, and the player's life is also very precious. After exceeding level 10, if you are killed, the things on your body will fall. If no player collects them, these equipment will be returned to you in about 10 minutes, but no one dares to bet. 3 members of the team just now were killed by goblin monsters, and they thought there were no players around. As a result, Yunchen came out and secretly collected their equipment. And backpack items. Now the 3 players should start crying, of course. The 2 female players will also cry, because they were also killed by Yunchen and their equipment was also picked up. It is precisely because of this risk that players above level 10, without blood medicine recovery, usually return to their shelters honestly when their blood volume reaches the bottom. Not only can they not continue to explore after death, but they also have the risk of being looted by others, but with this long sword, invincible endurance. You don't have to worry about losing blood when killing monsters. You can recover blood by cutting the monster with one knife. Chapter 35 Pull. Crazy Killing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This bloodthirsty sword is a set with intermediate transcendent rune, swordsman. You can keep it for the set purchase after the winter snowstorm is over. Because after the winter snowstorm is over, most players have basically reached level 20. Intermediate transcendent runes are countless times more precious than primary transcendent runes. Of course, the top players at the forefront should be able to reach level 30. They will definitely discover the peculiarity of this game by then, and the Dragon Country officials will also know about it, and they should hold an emergency meeting by then. Yun Chen pondered, speculating on every step of the game. After level 30, the data in the game will be integrated with the real players. To put it simply, all level 30 players are no longer ordinary humans. Instead, they will break away from the mortal body and become extraordinary job changers. This is deliberately set by the will of Blue Star, in order to allow humans to adapt and advance in the month before the arrival of the demonic disaster. No matter what, Yun Chen must keep up with the pace of the first echelon. Gently shaking his head, he put aside the messy thoughts in his heart and continued to shift his sights to the collection rewards. 2000 intermediate obsidian can play a big role in Yun Chen's shelter from level 9 to level 10, and from level 14 to level 15, Yun Chen kept the 3 intermediate shelter cores first, and initially planned to use them for himself. As for the 10 primary obsidian production drawings, priceless treasures. They can definitely be sold at a terrifyingly high price. So far, except for Yun Chen, no player has been able to upgrade the shelter to level 5. They are all stuck with the special metal of primary obsidian. Those first-tier players may have enough materials, but they can't make primary obsidian. I'm rich. Yun Chen smiled, leaving one for himself, one for Tang Yen, and the remaining 8, all sold, and, item, life-extending pill. Description: after use, your character will permanently get a chance to be exempted from death. When the character dies, he will be resurrected at the same place, and his health and mana will be restored by 70%. Item, endless life gem. Description: a emerald gem full of vitality, which can be used to make weapons and accessories. Item, extraordinary rune, swordsman, grade, intermediate. Description: after use, the character can be separated from the mortal body and transferred to the swordsman, and obtain the physical specialization talents and skills of the corresponding profession, and the four-dimensional attributes are improved. The harvest of this map exploration is extremely rich. Not only has the level been raised to level 26, there are also a lot of very useful and precious equipment, props, and materials. By the way, kill the remaining goblin monsters. It should be level 30. Yun Chen pondered. Now his strength has been greatly improved. Character, Yun Chen. Extraordinary profession, mage. Level 26, 20%. Four-dimensional attributes, strength 1200 points, wisdom 1250 points, physical 1200 points, agility 1200 points. No props, equipment, passive blessing, talent, all-round synthesis, SSS, magic amplification, D. Skills, fireball, D. Agility amplification, C. Servant, flower elf, level 22, Current shelter level, level 5. Current equipment, black crystal mysterious poison claw / 7-star Skyfire staff, 7-star Skyfire robe, Wolf King's strong blood wrist guard, Wolf King's swift boots, holy bloodthirsty belt, 7-star Skyfire necklace, Goblin King's gold ring. With this attribute panel, killing these goblin monsters outside that are only level 17 to 20 is completely crushing. If you say you want to exterminate this goblin clan, then you must exterminate it. Yun Chen controlled the character and appeared in front of these goblin monsters in an extremely high-profile manner. These goblin warriors, goblin archers, goblin swordsmen, without exception, they all chased Yun Chen madly. Yun Chen did not rush to attack them, but walked around the entire canyon map. Ding! Congratulations, the exploration rate of the Goblin Canyon map has reached 100%. Okay. You bastards. It's time to send you on your way. Yun Chen sneered. Looking back, there were at least 300 or 400 goblin monsters chasing him like crazy, because they already knew that their leader was killed by this human. So they were surprisingly angry. After pulling these monsters to an open area, Yun Chen also turned around suddenly. Fireball is activated. Magic amplification is activated. With the blessing of Golden Ring of the Goblin King, the level of the fireball is +1, and the explosion range and power will be greatly improved. With Yunchen's high level of 26 and his own rare equipment bonus, boom! A fireball fell, and a mushroom cloud rose up. Ah! The goblins screamed. This fireball spell killed at least 50 goblins. Yun Chen pulled for another 10 seconds and condensed the second fireball again. Don't forget the effect of the 7-star Skyfire set. It can superimpose up to 50% of all speeds for Yun Chen. Coupled with the general skill of agility amplification, Yun Chen can easily pull these monsters away, and the opponent can't even touch the corners of his clothes. After the fireball level increases, the CD decreases. It was reduced from the original 20 seconds to 10 seconds, a fireball in 10 seconds. In less than a minute, 4 fireballs were fired. 3/4 of the goblin monsters were wiped out. The remaining quarter is already timid. Monsters of this level already have superficial intelligence, unlike low-level monsters that only kill mindlessly. When they saw one of their companions dying in front of them, and saw the powerful aura exuding from this human being, scared. Really scared. Run! At this moment, these despicable and cunning goblins actually turned around and ran away. However, can you run away? Boom! 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 Yun Chen, who possesses extremely high agility, chases and kills these goblins. When I say I want to exterminate the clan, I mean to exterminate your clan. The mana level has bottomed out, but it doesn't matter. When I rescued Ant Tang, I killed those players. Among the items they dropped were 4 bottles of primary mana recovering medicine. Yun Chen didn't save at all and used all 4 bottles. The blue is fully restored at once, and the blast continues. 5 minutes later, when the last goblin monster was stabbed in the head by Yun Chen mercilessly with his sharp claws, the genocide ended. Bite. Congratulations, your level has been raised to level 29. 1 level difference. It doesn't matter. After Yun Chen collected all the monster corpses, he returned to the cave. Go directly to the deepest part of the cave. Bite. Trigger special plot, save the people of the main city of Atlantis. Trigger special plot, kill them all. Would you like to accept this plot mission? Chapter 36 Another server-wide announcement. The first level 30 player. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at the 2 special plot tasks triggered in front of him, Yun Chen accepted them directly without any hesitation. What came into view was a huge underground prison, and in this prison, all of them were human women. They were naked, covered with scars, and were hung up and imprisoned by iron chains. Some of them were even pregnant. Their expressions were numb, and their eyes had completely lost hope, leaving only despair. Obviously, after being tortured, they lost their souls, leaving only a barely alive body. They are NPCs. But, they are intelligent. Yun Chen clearly remembered that after the game merged with reality, the NPCs in the game also descended into reality. They became intelligent creatures with flesh and blood. Yun Chen did not rush to rescue them. Instead, he went directly to the large room at the innermost of the dungeon. This is a nursery, covered with straw. That's right. This is the nursery of the Goblin clan. It is full of goblin cubs. Roar! In this deepest dungeon, there are 2 Goblin elites stationed here, 2 Goblin Centurions, both are level 22, for such an important place, the Goblin King will naturally send 2 powerful men to protect it, however, in front of the level 26 Yun Chen, it is useless, not even using the Fireball spell, just go up with the Black Crystal Poison Claw. The 2 Goblin Centurions were killed in a few strokes. This game is quite realistic. When the battle took place here, the female NPCs captured in the dungeon also noticed it. When they saw Yun Chen easily kill the Goblin Centurion, the originally desperate eyes showed a ray of hope. Yun Chen ignored them and fired a fireball spell at the nursery. Boom. You have completed the special task, kill them all. Then turning around, Yun Chen opened all the cells here and rescued these NPCs. You have completed the special mission rescue operation. Ding. Trigger special plot, escort. Yun Chen also accepted it. In fact, this game has a detection system. As long as the player reaches level 29, they will find a way to trigger some special plot missions and guide you to the main city. The escort mission that Yun Chen accepted now is to escort these NPCs to the main city of Atlantis. After the escort is completed, these special plot missions settle the experience rewards. Yun Chen will successfully upgrade from level 29 to level 30, along the way, there is no obstruction. Because, all the goblin monsters have been killed by Yun Chen, Goblin Canyon is a special map. The goblin monsters here will not respawn, monsters in other maps will respawn every once in a while. The escort journey is very long, the main reason is that these NPCs walk very slowly. According to the setting, they are seriously injured, so the speed is very slow. Yun Chen has to escort them patiently throughout the journey. This escort lasted for 3 hours. You have explored the new map, Atlan's main city. You have a new teleport point in Atlan's main city. When you arrive at the main city in the game, the character can have a teleport point here and can teleport here from his shelter at any time. You have completed all special tasks. You have obtained 1 million experience points and the Goblin Slayer title reward. Your level has been raised to level 31. Rescue, exterminate, and escort. The experience accumulated from the 3 tasks is still very high. It's okay to get an extra title, Goblin Slayer. Description: you are the nemesis of goblins. Passive: increase the damage caused to goblin-type monsters by 30%. This title is useless, however, after 5 seconds, ding. All players in the server, as long as they are online, have received a notification email. Congratulations to Yun Chen from the Dragon Country server, who became the first player in this game to break through level 30. Specially notified. For encouragement. Warm reminder, all players will undergo a complete transformation after reaching level 30. Please work hard to upgrade. Wow! At this moment, all players playing this game at home and abroad were shocked. Even the players who were browsing the Dark Explorers forum were shocked. Because this official forum has a congratulatory post for the player Yun Chen. Ah! Why is the name Yun Chen again? Oh my god! Anbala Bobo. How can he upgrade so fast? Yeah. I'm online 24 hours a day, and 3 power players take turns to help me, and I'm only at level 24. Foreign players are completely shocked, domestic players are even more shocked. Under the top post of the Dark Explorers forum, there are all exclamations. Wow! My brother Yun Chen is the real boss. Aren't there several billionaires showing off in front? They said they have power levelers who work 24 hours a day, and they said they are definitely the fastest to reach level 30. But what happened? It's still my brother Yun Chen. Too amazing. This leveling speed. I remember the captain of the Kanglin ZY team is only level 28 now, right? That in addition to those who were amazed, there were also those who were skeptical. This isn't an official shill, is it? I suspect it too. There are rich people who ask for training 24 hours a day, but they can't compare to this Yun Chen. Other than him, no one has upgraded the shelter to level 5, and no one can upgrade it to level 30. The name Yun Chen became popular in this game again, and on the top floor of a towering technology building, Lu Chaoga also saw the server-wide announcement. It's Yun Chen again. The female CEO narrowed her beautiful long eyes and murmured to herself, to be honest, she was surprised by the content of this report. I didn't expect that Yun Chen could level up so quickly. If she hadn't met Yun Chen in person before, she would have suspected that he was a shill deliberately created by the game officials. How did he rise so quickly? That's right. His sister was killed by Yun Chen in the game not long ago. I didn't ask carefully then, but I'm asking now. Just make a phone call. Lu Chaoga paused. Goblin Canyon. There is no doubt that this Yun Chen has killed all the monsters in the Goblin Canyon, Lu Chaoga said with great certainty. Ah. Sister, it's impossible, right? When I saw him, he was only level 16. The lowest level of those goblin monsters is 17, and the highest is 25. How can he, a little shrimp at level 16, possibly survive? Lu Menjing said in disbelief. All members of her team were level 18, but as soon as they met the goblin team, they were defeated, not to mention this level 16 Yun Chen. How could he possibly destroy all the goblins? Chapter 37 Virtual Embodiment. Reborn. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiaoying, you don't understand him. This man is a master among masters when it comes to gaming. When I met him before, he was not even level 10, but if I hadn't been there at that time, the Kanglan Jiwei team would have been wiped out by him. Lu Chaoga said softly, this aloof female CEO is very patient and gentle when dealing with her sister. If it were anyone else, Lu Chao would be hard-pressed to sing, let alone explain. Lu Menjing fell silent after listening to her sister's words, obviously shocked. You must know that in the Kanglan Jiwei team, except for Tang Zhizhong, the others are all famous gamers. When they play this game, they will get started very quickly, and they will be stronger than other players. Result, almost destroyed by Yun Chen Tuan. This, Lu Menjing was a little hard to accept. She also plans to seek revenge from the other party when we meet next time. Now that you tell me that this Yun Chen is so powerful, do I still want to take revenge? Now, on the other side, Yun Chen has entered the main city of Atlantis. This main city, which can only be entered after level 30 in the game, is bustling with people coming and going, but Yun Chen knew that there was currently no player in this main city. All of them were NPCs. This national shelter game is very real, and the NPCs in it have their own personalities, emotions, and thoughts, not AI, so players can even turn on their mobile phone voices in the main city to talk to these NPCs. Yun Chen began to explore the main city. The main city of Atlanta covers a very large area. Yun Chen controlled the character and wandered around for a full 3 hours before raising the exploration level here to 100%. Congratulations on becoming the first player to explore the main city of Atlantis. You have won the title of Urban Explorer. Title, Urban Explorer. Passive, movement speed increased by 20%. Description, specially awarded to players who like to explore. Hey. Brother. I need your help here. Are you free? I can give you the wine I brewed myself. I guarantee you'll like it. At this time, an uncle came over and chatted with Yun Chen with a smile. Yun Chen ignored it. In the main city, many NPCs will take the initiative to talk to you. Once you respond, some kind of mission plot will be triggered. After completing the task, you will receive some rewards from the NPC. If nothing goes wrong with this uncle NPC, the wine rewarded can be used to restore his own blood volume or mana volume. Yun Chen was too lazy to answer. The top priority is to test the new ability. Virtual Embodiment. Yun Chen directly used the teleportation function to return to his shelter. Tip, you have awakened the new talent, Virtual Embodiment. This prompt popped up immediately. Virtual representation. Everything in the game can be projected into reality. Would you like to use this talent? Without any hesitation, Yun Chen clicked to use it directly. Buzz. In an instant, Yun Chen was completely enveloped in a ball of blue light. A wave of enlightenment poured into Yun Chen's mind, and his body also began to change. I, who had become extremely weak from staying up late playing games, suddenly got rid of all fatigue and became full of energy. I felt like I had inexhaustible strength all over my body. Coming. The game attributes merge with itself. Thereby reborn. Become an extraordinary job changer. Yun Chen is very familiar with this situation. In his previous life, he only played the game for 7 days before the end came. Due to busy work, the character has not even reached level 10, but even so, on the day when the doomsday comes, the character's attributes are still integrated into himself. The scene then was the same as it is now. 10 seconds later, the blue light disappears. Yun Chen lowered his head and looked at his body. He was originally only 1.75 meters tall, but now he has grown to 1.85 meters tall. The tummy accumulated from staying up late every day playing games and training all night disappeared, replaced by a well-proportioned and perfect 8-pack abs. More importantly, become handsome. All impurities in the body seem to have been cleansed, and both skin and hair become very fresh and healthy. The facial features have become three-dimensional and beautiful. At the same time, Yun Chen's clothing has also changed. In the game, he wears the 7-star fire suit, the sacred bloodthirsty belt, the Wolf King's rapid boots, the Goblin King's gold ring, the Wolf King's strong blood wristbands. They were all concretely worn on Yun Chen's body. At this moment, Yun Chen is holding a 7-star heavenly fire staff and wearing a mage robe glowing with starlight. If a stranger comes into the room and sees this scene, he will definitely think that Yun Chen is a character in some game anime. Fortunately, these equipment can be transformed. Yun Chen's heart moved, and these clothes that seemed very weird to ordinary people immediately turned into normal modern casual clothes. Yun Chen came to the kitchen. He picked up the kitchen knife and stabbed his arm with a calm expression. Bite. No surprises, the sharp kitchen knife chopped on Yun Chen's arm, but it did not cause any injuries to him. Instead, it broke the kitchen knife, and the blade was directly split into 2 halves, copper skin and iron bones. A set of protective gear, plus his extremely high physical attributes, made Yun Chen's body extremely powerful. Character, Yun Chen. Superb occupation, mage. Level 31, 10%. 4-dimensional attributes, strength 2500 points, wisdom 2550 points, physical 2500 points, agility 2500 points. No props, equipment, passive blessing. This is Yun Chen's current level and 4-dimensional attribute panel. The props in the game can also be materialized in reality. That means I can now even move the shelter directly into reality. But Yun Chen did not do so. The reason is very simple. Now he is the first player to exceed level 30. Don't be too high profile. Besides, in this life, many players may reach level 30 in advance. Because I have lived again in this life, my life may change some of the processes in my previous life. This is the so-called butterfly effect. Ding dong. And at this moment, a bell suddenly rang outside the door. In fact, even if he didn't ring the doorbell, Yun Chen could sense the visitor outside the door. Now his body has been reborn, and his perception is many times stronger than that of ordinary people. He knows exactly how many people the Dragon Country officials have arranged to patrol in this building pretending to be security guards. Now Yun Chen is on the 6th floor. He can sense someone walking lightly on the 1st floor. And at this moment, the visitor outside the door is none other than Li Mani, the official staff of the Dragon Country who came to talk to Yun Chen last time. Chapter 38 Breaking News. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yun Chen opened the door. In the night, the tall and graceful Li Mani wore a black OL skirt, with 2 long and beautiful legs wrapped in black silk stockings, matched with delicate and moving facial features. In the moonlight, she looked very beautiful. At least, Yun Chen's neighbor next door, a 30-year-old white-collar elite, was coming back from get-off work. He turned his head and saw Li Mani, and he was stunned. He thought. He remembered who the tenant next door was, a dead otaku who only knew how to play games, but now such a beautiful woman would come to this dead otaku. Or, this kid spent a lot of money to make an appointment with a model. Damn! How much money does it cost to hire such a high-quality beauty? I, a white-collar elite, have never slept with such a beautiful woman. Can you succeed? I will call Jay to report that there is a PC here when I return to the room later. And next to it, Li Mani was actually stunned. Why? Because Yun Chen, he has become so handsome. What happened? This handsome face that looks like a knife and an axe. These deep eyes that shine like stars. These heroic eyebrows. This tall and beautiful nose. This tall and well-proportioned body that looks like the golden ratio. It's only been a few days since I last saw him, and he has become so handsome. Li Mani admitted that when she saw Yunchen, her heart was very agitated. When I first met Yunchen, I thought this boy was a little handsome, but at that time, he seemed to stay up late to play games, his physical condition was a little poor, and his dark circles were very deep, so he looked very ordinary, but now, how did he become a handsome man in a romance novel? The key is that this kind of handsomeness is not feminine handsomeness, but a very healthy and sunny handsomeness. Humans are visual animals after all. Li Mani, who has always been proud in her heart, has to admit that the man in front of her is very much to her taste. Yun Chen's expression did not change at all, and he was still indifferent. He was not surprised at all that Li Mani came to him. "Ms. Li, please come in. I know you have something to ask me." Yun Chen politely let the other party in. Li Mani nodded slightly, and after entering the house, she also got straight to the point. "Mr. Yun Chen, I came here first to ask you what you did to break through level 30 so quickly. Second, I want to ask you, after reaching level 30, are there any changes in your game account, that the Dragon Country officials are now paying close attention to this game?" The two mysterious stone tablets at the north and south poles also marked the font of level 30, so the moment she learned that Yun Chen had reached level 30, the Dragon Country official responsible for supervising this game immediately asked Li Mani to come out and ask, because she was the staff member in charge of this area. "My changes. Haven't you seen it?" Yun Chen said with a smile. Just such a smile made Li Mani's heart skip a beat again. However, after hearing the other party's answer, Li Mani was stunned at first, and then full of astonishment. This. Seeing Li Mani's astonishment, Yun Chen was very calm. It's not that he didn't want to keep it secret, but keeping it secret would not do him any good. Besides, as long as everyone reaches level 30, they will know about this kind of thing. "You mean the reason why you become so handsome and beautiful is because you reached level 30 in the game?" Li Mani felt incredible. This is simply not a magical thing that can happen in reality. "Yes." Yun Chen nodded, and then explained the details here to Li Mani. "By the way, don't have too much hope for things like becoming handsome and beautiful. Because Miss Li, you are already very beautiful now. Generally, after being materialized, it will improve a person's physique, but it will not even change genes. So only people with a good foundation can become good-looking, and those with a bad foundation will still be ugly." Yun Chen also calmly explained the issue that Li Mani was very concerned about. Li Mani's pretty face turned slightly red. She was a little happy about Yun Chen's praise of her beauty. However, she still said solemnly, "I will report everything you said to the higher-ups immediately. This matter is very important. Mr. Yun Chen, please don't tell anyone else first." Yun Chen nodded. What a joke. He is not a fool. How could he reveal this information to others? The reason why he told the Dragon Country official staff was because he had to make management preparations in advance. When those players reach level 30, they will be reborn, become powerful, and even bullets from guns and cannons can't hurt them. At that time, there is a high probability that society will usher in a great turmoil. This is like some videos I saw before, asking you, if you have very powerful superpowers, will you insist on justice, or will I not eat beef? The answer is obvious. When those players who are villains themselves have such extraordinary power, then the heart of crime will be restless. Before the end of the world comes, Yun Chen does not want the world to be too turbulent, so he must explain it to the Dragon Country official in advance. Let the state officials take charge. Some people may wonder why Yun Chen didn't choose to tell the Dragon Kingdom officials about this matter in advance. The reason is simple, even if Yun Chen said it at the time, no one would believe it, and they might even regard it as a lunatic. It's like a person suddenly came to you on the street and said to you, "I am God, please give me money quickly, and I will bless you with peace in your life." Would you believe it? But now, there are facts to support it. Li Mani had no choice but to believe this because of Yun Chen's transformation and his tough body that could not be pierced with a knife. What? All players in this game will be completely transformed after reaching level 30. Li Mani's direct leader Li Guowei said in astonishment. Fortunately, Li Guowei was just stunned for a moment and believed in this matter. The reason is simple, this game is so special. So these strange things seem normal and easy to believe. I'll report it to the top immediately. Li Guowei made a decision without any hesitation. When this shocking news was reported to the highest department responsible for supervising this game. Wow! The presidents of major groups and heads of famous families present at the scene were all shocked and gasped. Dragon Kingdom officials also invited these extremely wealthy companies and families to cooperate. Let's work on this special game together, so they can also have a place here and participate in discussions together. Lu Chaoga of Tianming Group happened to be having a meeting here. When she heard the news, she narrowed her eyes, and a meaningful expression appeared on her charming face. Yun Chen, it's Yun Chen again. During this period of time, this name appeared frequently in front of Lu Chaige. The key is the news revealed by the other party at this moment. Like a bomb dropped into a fish pond, it exploded. Chapter 39 Global Turmoil. Online Stalls. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next thing will be a headache for the Dragon Country officials. Yun Chen was browsing the forum while chatting with Tang Yen. Tang Yen was completely addicted to this game. She wanted to stay awake for 24 hours and play like crazy. She didn't even want to find a power leveler, because she wanted to kill monsters and level up step by step, become stronger by yourself. Then, bully others. Hearing Tang Yan's words, Yun Chen couldn't help but laugh. But don't tell me, Tang Yan's leveling speed is not slow. With the equipment I gave her, plus the environment of the winter snowstorm, she actually reached level 10 in just one day. After chatting for half an hour, Tang Yan finally fell asleep. She kept asking Yun Chen questions about the game, hearing the even breathing sound coming from the voice. He knew that Aunt Tang was sleepy and fell asleep. Yun Chen hung up the phone and continued to browse the Dark Explorer forum, opened his acquisition account, found that the amount of 200,000 had bottomed out. All of them were used to purchase primary supernatural runes. Perhaps because of the winter snowstorm, the production of supernatural runes has increased slightly. It will definitely not be so common that they are sold everywhere. Just now, Yun Chen asked Tang Yen to temporarily borrow 1 million yuan to purchase this primary supernatural rune. Many people don't understand why Yun Chen has to spend this money to purchase primary supernatural runes. Sooner or later, they will know. After reading the forum for a while, I found that most players have reached level 20. Although the winter snowstorm has greatly increased the strength of monsters, it has also greatly improved the levels of players. Now, everyone is madly rushing to level 30. I believe that within 3 days, a group of first-tier players will reach level 30. Within 10 days, the second and third-tier players will also reach level 30. Within 20 days, most players will reach level 30. It depends on how long this winter snowstorm will last, but, before that, the Dragon Country official will make a big move. As it turns out, Yun Chen guessed correctly. 2 days later, the Dragon Country official teamed up with Tianming Group, Tingfei Group, and other major super companies to vigorously promote the game Shelter for All, and the specialness of this game was emphasized. It can give you extraordinary power. Why did the Dragon Country official dare to do this? As mentioned before, in order to study this game, the Dragon Country official has secretly cultivated a group of strong players, day and night. Now, this group of official players has reached level 30 and gained extraordinary power. Then they were dispersed all over the country and an organization called Night Arbitration Office was established. All major departments must cooperate with the Night Arbitration Office to suppress those evil people who want to do evil after gaining extraordinary power. Preventive shots in advance. Under this premise, the game Shelter for All has completely exploded. It is very fun. Now after strong promotion, people from the elderly in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s, to children in their 4s and 5s, have all paid attention to this game. Yun Chen watched the official operation of Dragon Country in the past 2 days, and stood on the balcony, looking at the scenery in the distance, feeling a lot of emotion in his heart. His heavy work has finally changed the trajectory of the world. As the number of people in the game increases, Yun Chen stockpiled primary extraordinary runes can also be sold, and all exchanged for gold coins. Of course, Yun Chen knows what kind of thinking the Dragon Country officials have in making this decision. You must know that this game is global. All countries are paying close attention to this game, and there are many players. In this case, the Dragon Country officials suddenly spread the news that you can get extraordinary power from the game, which is bound to cause complete chaos abroad. If nothing unexpected happens, there will definitely be a very chaotic situation abroad, Yunchen asked Li Mani, and it was just as he expected. All overseas countries have ushered in a certain degree of chaos, but this is not Yunchen's business. He just wants to upgrade quickly now, hoping to have enough power to protect himself on the day of the end of the world. In addition, Li Mani also repeatedly wanted to invite Yunchen to join the Dawn Guild and become an official force, but Yunchen refused. By the way, we plan to invite all players above level 30 to an offline gathering in the near future, with the intention of exchanging resources. Mr. Yunchen, do you have any ideas? Li Mani suddenly said. Yunchen pondered for a moment and said, just notify me after it's open. Meeting offline and exchanging resources with other players above level 30 is a good thing for Yunchen. It just so happens that he has too many resources in his hands and has nowhere to use them. He can take them out for exchange or sell them for gold coins in the game, and in the past few days, Yunchen found that players began to appear in the main city, and there are quite a few of them. In the previous life, even in the winter snow disaster, only a few players rushed to level 30, now there are so many. I think it's because of the official promotion. With the increase in the number of players, the price of some materials that were originally very expensive will be reduced. The number of people on the Dark Explorers forum also increased sharply, and the trading section became more and more popular. In this case, some players who just lack materials to make potions can spend money to buy them. There are recovery potions. Even if the blood is low, you can restore it to full and then continue to explore. It greatly prolongs the time for players to explore and kill monsters, and the level naturally rises faster. There is also a trading market in the main city of Atlan's. Players control the characters to go there to set up stalls and choose the idle mode. If there are players who come to buy, the gold coins will be automatically credited. Yunchen came here, thought about it, and started to set up stalls directly. A primary demon illustration book, a resurrection scepter, a slaughter heart, a ghost leather armor, a goblin king's bloodthirsty longsword, an intermediate extraordinary rune, swordsman. There is no price set, and the stall system is set to want to write a letter directly. But, just when Yunchen was about to turn around and leave the market, but he found that dozens of players had already gathered here. It was not these things that attracted their attention at first, but Yunchen. It's you, Yunchen. At this moment, a player shouted excitedly. Yunchen turned around and saw a group of players walking towards him. Boss Yunchen. I'm so lucky to see you here in the main city. What level are you? I guess you must be level 35. You are a celebrity now. The whole server has reported it twice. Many players looked at this legendary player with curiosity. In response, Yunchen just said lightly, do you want to buy something? I'm setting up a stall. Setting up a stall. What good things are you setting up? A player immediately walked to the front and saw the resurgence scepter there. Damn! This scepter. A healing item. A shield item. The player was shocked on the spot. Chapter 40. The thing is precious. Highly sought after. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The player who made the shocking sound, his ID is Kai. He just took a look at the resurgence scepter, and couldn't help but blurt out an exclamation. His exclamation also made the surrounding players very curious about the resurgence scepter. They all checked the information of the resurgence scepter. The result, fuck. What an awesome scepter. All the players exclaimed. Equipment, resurgence scepter. Grade, rare. Requirements for wearing, level 7 or above, priest profession. After equipping, wisdom plus 150, healing effect plus 30%. Special effects. Wind of resurgence. Whenever you cast a healing skill, you will restore 10% of the maximum health of friendly forces within a 30-meter radius. Undying shield. Whenever you cast a healing skill, you will provide a shield of 10% of the maximum health of friendly forces within a 30-meter radius, which lasts for 10 seconds. Good guy. It turned out to be a top-level weapon for the priest profession. Casting a skill once can not only restore 10% of the maximum health of teammates within a radius of 30 meters, but also give teammates a 10% shield. Although this weapon is only a level 7 weapon, these level 30 players here think it is more powerful than level 30 advanced weapons. Well, this is normal, after all, this is a rare weapon. Rare equipment often has special effect entries that are far superior to advanced and intermediate equipment, even if the wear level of the Scepter of Resuscitation in front of you is only level 7. As expected of Yunchen, this scepter is so awesome, then the things placed next to it are not simple. The player who was DI for Kai swallowed his saliva and turned to look at the things placed next to the Scepter of Resuscitation. Oh my god! Oh my god! This sight made the player couldn't help but scream in shock. Phantom leather armor. Kai's eyes were completely red, and his breathing became extremely heavy. Why? Because this phantom leather armor is a rare armor of level 20. And it is also equipment exclusively for the assassin profession. Armor, phantom leather armor. Grade, rare. Wearing requirements, above level 20, assassin profession. After equipping, strength, agility plus 600, armor, magic resistance plus 200, backstrike damage plus 50%, physical critical hit rate plus 40%. Special effect, after entering the combat state, every 10 seconds, the self-critical hit rate and backstrike damage increase by 5%, can be stacked 5 times. What does the assassin profession need most? Without a doubt, it is strength, agility, and critical hit rate. The critical hit rate should be overflowing like crazy. Because the first talent passive of the assassin profession basically converts the overflowed critical hit rate into the backstrike damage increase rate. For example, if you have a 150% critical hit rate, the extra 50% critical hit rate will become a 50% backstrike damage increase. In the early stage of the game development, when everyone's equipment is generally not very good, let alone overflowing the critical hit rate, it is a bit difficult for you to get a full 100% critical hit rate. And this piece of phantom leather armor can increase your critical hit rate by 65%. And the attributes after equipping are also very good. For the assassin profession, this phantom leather armor is simply the dream of opening up the land. No wonder the player with the ID Kai is jealous and panting. Boss! Boss Yunchen! Are you selling this phantom leather armor? Kai immediately looked at Yunchen and asked hurriedly. He was completely moved. No matter what, he must buy this phantom leather armor. In this way, his critical hit rate can overflow by 15%. Don't underestimate this 15% critical hit rate overflow. This can increase his back attack damage by 15%. The assassin profession wants back attack damage. Yunchen glanced at Kuyi. He had made the ghost leather armor using the all-round synthesis yesterday. The materials were Goblin leather armor, plus ghost leather, plus critical gem. The above 3 synthetic materials were collected from goblin monsters. Yunchen was about to answer the other party, but other players' exclamations at this time interrupted him again. Oh my god! The Slaughterer's Heart! Isn't that a rare material necessary for the blood chi pill? Wow! There's also the Goblin King's bloodthirsty long sword. My god, this is an invincible artifact for pioneering. Oh my god! And this extraordinary rune. It's actually an intermediate extraordinary rune. I've only exploded 2 primary extraordinary runes so far, but Yunchen has already exploded an intermediate extraordinary rune. And this primary demonic atlas is not bad either. It contains detailed information on all demonic monsters from level 1 to 40, and the weaknesses and habits of the demonic monsters are clearly written. As the saying goes, knowing yourself and the enemy will lead to victory in every battle. With this book, it's very convenient before level 40. After seeing the things displayed at Yunchen's stall, these players' eyes widened. The exclamations of gasping for air continued to ring out, then the next moment, swish. All the extremely hot eyes collectively fell on Yunchen. Boss! How much is this Slaughterer's Heart? If the gold coins are not enough, I am willing to pay with cash. 50,000. 100,000. 200,000. Any number you choose. Fuck you. Get out of here. 200,000. Do you think the boss is a beggar? I am willing to pay 500,000 in cash for this slaughterer's heart. I also want the phantom leather armor. I am also an assassin. Boss Yunchen. Just name the number. I want the Goblin King's bloodthirsty longsword. I can accept any price within 10 million in cash. At this moment, all the players spoke excitedly. The prices given were all in units of 10,000 just for the slaughterer's heart. Someone was willing to pay 500,000 in cash. Don't think that money is not money just because you read too many rich novels. 500,000 in cash is enough for the down payment of a house in a fourth-tier city. Of course, Yunchen also believed that these players in front of him were definitely not bragging. They are definitely rich. Being able to upgrade their own level to level 30 during this period of time is enough to show that their identities in reality are not simple. Facing these big players, if it was Yunchen in his previous life, he would probably have to be humble and flatter them, but in this life, sorry. It's your turn to curry favor with me. Although he thought so, Yunchen didn't get carried away in his heart. He didn't say that he would slash the price just because he was called a big boss. The highest bidder gets these things. Everyone, be quiet for a moment and listen to me. Yunchen said. Hearing the words of Big Boss Yunchen, the originally noisy players all quieted down, but it was obvious. The eyes behind the mobile phone screens were staring at the things on the stalls. Well, don't think that they are calling Big Boss Yunchen affectionately now, but in fact they are cruel in their hearts. That is to say, in the main city, it is a safe zone, and all players cannot attack or rob each other. If they meet Yunchen in the wild, they will have some bad thoughts.